concept. Which pair of animals is more closely related to each other? I'm giving you binomial nomenclature here. I have Ursus americanus and Ursus maritimus, or I have Ursus americanus and Buffo americanus. Which pair of animals is more closely related to each other? A is the correct response. So binomial name I'm giving you, genus in Ursus and species in Americanus. So genus, species. So what option A is telling me is that both of these organisms belong to the genus Ursus. So they both belong to the same genus, so they're related. You can go even more specific. This guy is Americanus, this guy is of Maritimus. I can actually show you what I'm talking about here. So that's my Ursus americanus, the American black bear. Look at that cute little lazy guy, klutzy little bear. All right, that's Ursus americanus. Well, the other guy was Ursus maritimus. So the other guy, Ursus maritimus, genus and species, is a polar bear. See that polar bear? That guy. Okay, the American black bear can definitely be related to the polar bear. Let's see the other one. We had another option between Ursus americanus, okay, again, American black bear, and Buffo americanus. Let's check out that guy. That's the American toad. The American toad is definitely quite different from the American black bear. But if we go back to our poll, they had the same species name, Americanus, but that didn't matter because their genus is dissimilar, Buffo and Ursus. So you gotta have a similar broad category before you get more specific. More specific, you're kind of using geography as a name, and as you can imagine, there are not many differences in geographical nomenclature. So again, you have to have the more broad categories be similar. It doesn't matter if you have the same specific species name. Because the genus are similar here in option A is the choice. Next one. Which level of taxa is broader than order, but more specific than kingdom? Class is going to be the correct answer here. So I'm wanting something that has more organisms than order. It's more broad, but more specific. It has less organisms than kingdom. So let's check our hierarchy. You use the dumb King Philip came over from Great Spain to help you with this. So first let's find order. Here's order. I want something more broad than order. So I want something that's going to house more organisms than order. So that's going to be everything above this. It can either be class, phylum, kingdom, or domain. It can't be family, genus, and species because those are more specific than order. Okay, but I also want something more specific than kingdom. So if I go all the way to kingdom, there's kingdom. It can't be more broad, so it's not going to be domain. So it's got to be below kingdom over here, more specific. It houses less organisms than kingdom, so it's either going to be phylum or class. It's either one of these two options. I didn't give you phylum as a choice. That would be mean. Class is the only one that fits that criteria. B is the correct option. Which level of taxa contains the most organisms? Family, genus, kingdom, phylum? Kingdom is correct. That is the most broad category compared to the others. Domain would be the one that would supersede all other categories in the taxonomic system. I want to give you an example. Let me check if I'm recording. I am. Let's continue. I want to give you an example on how this system works. So I'm not going to test you on the different criteria that I'm going to list right now. You should be aware of the criteria that I'm going over just because I have taught it before, and if not, I will in the future by the time you graduate from this class. But I'm not going to test you on exactly what fits into each category. Here's an example, the domesticated house cat. I'm showing you different breeds of the house cat. Breeds are different from species. It's going to fall under species because even though they're different breeds, all these different house cats, I've got Siamese, I've got Norwegian Forest, I've got, well, I don't know about Norwegian Forest, but I've got Russian Blue. I've got many different breeds of house cats on here. They're all the same species, meaning that these individuals will interbreed with each other. Okay, so how does a system work? So this is life, this is biology, the study of life. This is definitely a living organism. First category is domain. For domain, you can be one of three. You can either be bacteria, you can be eukarya, or you can be archaea. Since these house cats have cells with a nuclei and membrane-bound organelles, they are eukaryotes. So this is the domain eukarya. This is our domain as well. They are multicellular organisms. Many cells contribute to these organisms, and they acquire their energy means by heterotrophic means versus autotrophic means. Cats don't make their own food. They need to consume something in order to get those energy requirements. These are animals. This is the kingdom Animalia. We are too. These cats have a spinal cord protected by a vertebra. These are vertebrates. They have tails that don't have anus at the end. This is the phylum Chordata. We are chordates as well. These guys lactate. They undergo the process of lactation, give milk to their young. They also give birth to young, unlike laying eggs. This is mammals, the class of Mammalia. We are too. These guys eat meat, therefore they are the order Carnivora. We're getting more specific as we go along with family. They have large bodies, roundish heads, retractable claws, in addition to some other criteria. This is the family Felidae. Getting quite different here. We've now differentiated from these organisms along that taxonomic system. Getting more specific with genus, I've italicized it due to binomial nomenclature rules. So the genus, these guys are smaller than other Felidae, such as tigers and panthers, so these belong to Felis instead of Panthera, like we went over. Finally, giving them their species. This is very detailed. The domesticated house cat belongs to the Catus species. This is Felis catus.